this version of just what is the sort of lean startup approach, as lean approach as applied to startups, and we'll kind of then move to sort of corporations.
Well, the Reader's Digest approach is that in the 20th century, venture capitalists told early stage ventures, essentially without using these words, that startups were nothing more than smaller versions of large companies. And that everything a large company did, a startup needed to do. They write a business plan, you write a business plan. They write a 5-year forecast that said $100 million in year 5, so will you. They hire VPs of sales, marketing, and biz dev, and use waterfall engineering to execute, so will you. Without ever once understanding that large companies were actually executing known business models. But startups were searching for business models. But we didn't even have that language to understand that distinction. We also didn't understand that for 100 years, business schools have been turning out strategy, theory, practice for execution. In fact, creating a whole cadre of management called Masters of Business Administration. And actually did a good job of creating people who knew how to administer, but here was the key idea, existing companies. But we had very few tools other than go write a business plan to tell startups and founders that what they were doing was something different than what people executing in large companies. So that's the preamble to answering your question. What the Lean Startup was the first kind of management tool set to start thinking about what do you do that's different in either a new venture or trying to be an entrepreneur inside a large corporation. And the Lean Startup methodology just said, look, if we understand we're searching for business models rather than executing them, we'll start with, and perhaps we ought to realize that most of what we have on day one in a startup is an untested set of hypotheses, which, excuse the language, just really means you're effing guessing for most of your stuff. You may have known technology or may have known whatever, but most of the other pieces about commercialization, what's the right channel, what's the right pricing, what's the right feature set, who are even the right customers, what activities and resources you need to do. I don't know, we kind of bubbled our way through that, and enough companies succeeded that venture capital made money, but it was enormously wasteful. And so the Lean Startup said, why don't we use a way to kind of admit that they're just hypotheses, use a piece of methodology invented by someone named Alexander Osterwalder, where we use a thing called the business model canvas, which is a single piece of paper that allows us to write down all our hypotheses. And then the second piece, which is only 3 pieces to Lean, says, well, thanks for writing down all these hypotheses. We're now going to force you to get out of your office and test them in front of customers right now. Not later, not when you're shipped, not whenever, but from day one. And I don't care if you're the technical founder, we're going to teach you how to make eye contact. That is the difference between an introvert and an extrovert for the scientists and engineers I teach, is whether they're looking at their shoes or your shoes. We do teach them to keep our lean, and it's teachable. It's all because they're smart enough, we just teach them how to go into emulation mode. And I teach them how to emulate empathy, and they're pretty good at it. But 2 is actually to test, test all those hypotheses on the business model canvas. And the third component of that testing was Eric Ries's contribution. So Lean Startup was business model canvas, customer development mind, canvas, Osterwalder, and third piece was Eric Ries's observation that instead of using waterfall engineering, G-Steve, in the 21st century, we invented Agile. We ought to use Agile engineering to build what are called minimum viable products. Minimum viable product is not a prototype. Minimum viable product is whatever gets us the most learning at that time about part of the hypotheses. It could be a spreadsheet, it could be a software wireframe, it could be a cardboard mock-up, but we're now getting out of the building, not just talking to people, but actually testing each part of the business model. So those 3 components, business model design, customer development, Agile engineering, make up the Lean Startup. And the best summary of this was the cover of the Harvard Business Review, May 2013, which said the Lean Startup changes everything, in this case for companies. And my involvement was with Evangelos smacking me on the side of the head and going, Steve, large companies are starting to do this as well, and it ain't working well. How come?